After the whistle this week starts in Mill Hall, where this would happen. It's Garden Spots. Kai Harding throws a quick screen pass to Trenton Huber. Shows off the moves, shows off the power, then he shows off the speed. It's a 57-yard touchdown, but would that be enough for the Spartans to hold on and come away with the victory? Hi, I'm Eric Morris. We'll have more on that game and others from around District 6.
And I'm Brendan Conroy. Penn State football is saying goodbye to its bye week with its annual homecoming game against UMass tomorrow. All that and more coming up on After the Whistle. Our game of the week takes us right into our backyard as State College hosts Harrisburg in a rematch of last year's 6A state semifinals. The Cougars avenged a 20-6 regular season loss with a 27-7 win to advance to the state championship. Tonight's game was similar to that semifinal game. In one of the best matchups of the season, 6-1 Harrisburg came into town to face 5-1 State College. Harrisburg is ranked 8th in the state, while the Little Lions are 13th at the 6A level. We send you to downtown State College, where the Little Lions and Cougars face off on that opening drive. Quarterback Sean Lee launches that downfield to put them near that 10-yard line, where the next play, it's Lee taking it himself as he splits the defenders from 8 yards out to bring Harrisburg on top 7-0. Later in the first, it's Lee connecting with Koch again, as you can see right there, for another Harrisburg touchdown, as that will double the lead. 14-0. Now with 5 minutes left in the second quarter, Harrisburg running back Nehemiah Elwell takes it into the end zone for a 9-yard touchdown, as you see right there. The extra point will be no good, but Harrisburg will extend its lead to 20-0. It was a rough night for the Little Lions as they fall to the Cougars 20-0. That'll bring them to 5-2 on the year. State College will look to rebound next week against Cumberland Valley. Meanwhile, Harrisburg improves to 7-1 and will come back home to clash with Chambersburg next Saturday. State College is now 5-2. The Little Lions will need to regroup before traveling to Cumberland Valley next week. Harrisburg will host Chambersburg next Saturday. Our Game of the Week reporter Jack Raczynski was at Memorial Field tonight. Jack, break down the game for us.
Well, Brendan, I thought it was a really complete game by Harrisburg, whether it was rushing, whether it was passing, whether it was defense. Harrisburg Cougars played lights out. Let's have a look.
Harrisburg and State High have had some recent playoff history. The schools are just about an hour apart. The teams play every season. Memorial Field was ready for a rematch. And just like last year's state semifinal, Harrisburg got the win again. Harrisburg would score 3 touchdowns in the first half thanks to Sean Lee, Elias Koch, and Nehemiah Ewell.
It was an outstanding win on all fronts, but quarterback Sean Lee unlocked Harrisburg's full potential tonight. In addition to an emphasis on the passing attack that allowed for multiple big splash plays, Lee's dual threat presence allowed him to use his legs to move the ball down the field as well. This made Harrisburg a force to be reckoned with on this frigid October night here at State College.
That's a great defense, and they don't make many errors, but we're just doing what we do best and running the ball, and that opened up the pass game for us.
However, let's talk about that Harrisburg defense. Safety Quincy Brannon had 2 picks on the night, and the Harrisburg D would shut down State High's offensive prowess, securing the shutout.
Honestly, it was just our defense, like the way our coach set up our defense, honestly. We were playing cover 3, cover 2 for real, but halftime it was cover 3, and I just played my role.
Harrisburg hopes to build towards another playoff run with a road win against a tough State High squad.
The Harrisburg Cougars were frighteningly good tonight, which I guess is fitting for Friday the 13th. Reporting in studio, I'm Jack Raczynski. Now over to you, Eric.
Thanks, Jack. Now let's take a look at a game that features 2 teams right in the thick of things in the Mid-Penn Keystone Conference. It's 5-2 Hershey as they travel to take on 4-3 Mifflin County. Mifflin County's first drive of this one did not go the way that they wanted. The ball is picked off by Cameron Sweeney, who returns it deep in Husky territory, sets up perfect field position for the Trojans with just under 7 minutes left to go in the first. Ensuing drive, it's Cam Sweeney again. He also plays quarterback. He fakes out not just the defenders, but also our cameraman. He takes it in from 26 yards out. It's a 7-0 score early on in this one. Trojans knocking on the door again. It's running back Angel Cabrera. Shows off the power on a 6-yard touchdown run. It doubles the lead, 14-0 with 8 minutes to go in the half. Now Mifflin County trying to make a comeback. It's a deep ball from Landon Acorn. Hauled in by Parker Kearns for their first score of the night. Draws the lead down to 10, but that would not be enough as Hershey would go on to win 24-14. Hershey improves to 6-2 and hosts Lower Dauphin next week. Mifflin County falls to 4-4 as they will head to Bishop McDevitt next Friday.
Let's head out to a game that features one of the best in Laurel Highlands Conference as 6-1 Penn Cambria hosted 1-6 Bellwood Antis. The Panthers winner of 6 straight after their initial loss to Richland. Middle of the first quarter still scoreless, but Brady Jones is going to lob up a 34-yard pass to Connor McDermott, which will set them up for 1st and goal. Now 2 plays later, Jones will throw it again, a 10-yard touchdown pass this time to McDermott. Once again, the receiver 7-0. Penn Cambria takes the lead. Second quarter, 3rd down now as Holden Stryer is stripped by Derek Height. Corbin Vinglish will get the scoop and score. That'll make it 20-0 Penn Cambria after the missed point after attempt. 1st and goal now late in the second quarter. Alex McCartney is going to bring it in for a 2-yard touchdown as you see on your screen. 26 Penn Cambria after the blocked PAT. The Panthers now make it 7 straight wins, taking down the Blue Devils 30-18. Penn Cambria will improve to 7-1 and will visit Bishop McCourt next week. Bellwood Antis falls to 1-7 on the season and heads home to entertain Bald Eagle area next week. Now let's take a look at some scores from around District 6. Bishop McCourt bested Bellefonte 33-14. Penns Valley took a 2-touchdown victory over Somerset 35-21.
Central Dauphin just dismantled Altoona today 48-14. And Chestnut Ridge outlasted Bishop Guilfoyle in a 50-43 shootout.
Central throttled Bedford 42-7. Sellingsgrove rolled past Hollidaysburg 48-7.
Bald Eagle hosts Greater Johnstown tomorrow, 6 p.m. kick. And Phillipsburg Osceola has an afternoon bout versus Westmont Hilltop. They get started at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Now 2-5 Glendale was on the road tonight to face Inter-County North Conference foe West Branch as they sit at 3-4. It's the first quarter here out at West Branch High School, and Troy Mazura, who already has a touchdown on the evening, takes this 37 yards to the house for his 2nd score of the night. West Branch would need an answer, down 14-0, and they would get one. They bust out the trickeration. It's a deep ball down the field, and that's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. Austin Silver made the play. On the next play, West Branch would punch it in. Now we have a tie ball game in the second quarter. Wyatt Shadursky punches it in from 17 yards out to give the Warriors their first lead of the night. And West Branch would just tack one more on the board prior to halftime for good measure. Danko hits Craig Fluck on the pass over the middle, making it 28-14 going into the half. All West Branch in the second half as they take this one 35-21. West Branch has won their last 4 in a row after a rough 0-4 start to the season. Now the Vikings will travel to Kerwinsville next week while West Branch visits Moshannon Valley.
For the first time in After the Whistle history, we traveled to Central Mountain as the 2-5 Wildcats played host to 6-1 Spartans of Garden Spot. Kicking things off with a meeting at midfield before the Wildcats and Spartans fight under the Friday night lights. On this first drive of the game, Garden Spot marches into the red zone where Kai Harding handed it off to Trenton Huber for the first score of the evening as number 8 runs in there, bringing Garden Spot to a 7-0 lead. As later in the opening quarter, Harding takes the snap, steps up to avoid some pressure, will then lob it over to Gabe Martin, who, if you can see there, will wiggle his way past a defender and in for another touchdown for Garden Spot. 14-0 they lead. Nearing the end of this first quarter, Harding will throw a quick screen pass to Huber, and look at that man go. Someone please cue the circus music as he dances and makes his way through 3 different defenders and across the field for a 57-yard touchdown. Garden Spot now leads 21-0. Spartans led at halftime 35-0 and kept the pedal on the metal for the rest of the way to walk away with a 48-0 victory. Garden Spot was right on the spot tonight and improved to 7-1. The Spartans will host Elizabethtown a week from today. Central Mountain falls to 2-6 and stays home to play Midwest next week.
A preview of Penn State's homecoming game against UMass is coming up.
But first, let's turn to some scores from the PIAA. We'll see you after the break.
Hello and welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Com Radio, Center County Report, and Penn State's chapter of Awesome.
Penn State is 5-0 to start the 2023 campaign. The Nittany Lions had a bye week last week following their win over Northwestern. Tomorrow they'll play UMass. Center County Report's Olivia Dunn previews that matchup for us.
Penn State football and thousands of alumni return home this weekend for homecoming. The opponent, UMass, landing at number 4 on ESPN's bottom 10 list. But Coach James Franklin says his team has practiced like it's taking on a top 4 team.
We're starting to kind of really figure out how to practice at a really high level on a consistent basis, and whether it's football or any other industry or sport, being really successful is about consistency, right?
All eyes will be on the offense, which ranks number 11 on the NCAA's scoring offense rankings, despite critics citing their lack of explosiveness. Several offensive line players are swapping spots, including Caden Wallace and Drew Shelton. Franklin said Shelton's transition helped move the unit forward.
So I think at first, Shelton, that transition going from left side to right side was hard on him. But he's adjusted really well, and I think our coaches and his teammates have a lot of confidence in his ability to do it.
It's definitely an adjustment. I'm just trying to embrace it. You're going to have your ups and your downs, and everything you got to take it with a grain of salt. We're going against a bunch of really good DNs, and they're preparing me for whatever we're going to see this week.
Kickoff is slated for 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Make sure to catch all the action on Com Radio. After the Whistle's very own Dylan Price and John Drager will be on the call following a pregame show starting at 2:30.
As you know, it's homecoming week here on campus as people flooded to downtown for the parade, which featured the cheerleaders and the Blue Band putting on a show in front of those hundreds of visitors that lined the streets. State College will welcome back plenty of alumni for Penn State's homecoming game tomorrow afternoon against the Minutemen. We will see you tomorrow at Beaver Stadium. Well, Brendan, it was a great week of regular season football. We're just a couple weeks away from playoffs, so teams really got to get it figured out.
Yeah, a lot of time for teams to just really get their game together, really figure it out before the postseason. Great week of games, but even better being able to talk to you about it tonight.
Yes, sir. That's all for Week 7. Join us next week as we continue to talk about all things District 6. I'm Eric Morris.
And I'm Brendan Conroy. Thank you for catching up with us all on this high school football action recap right here on After the Whistle.